Hey guys, it's Gus. And as you probably already know, Mastercrafting in Neverwinter is stupidly absurd. You know, the vast majority of players recommend to other players do not get into Mastercrafting, and they're probably right. Just setting up Mastercrafting is a complete ordeal because you have to buy all the recipes. You know, you can't farm it, you have to spend AD to do it. And then once you have those, you have to get your workshop set up. You got to get the tools. But actually, the hardest part isn't the recipes, it's not the tools, it's the artisans. It's very specific, and every master crafter knows how big of a difference these artisans make because the competition for selling is so extreme that even these 5% differences are the difference between you making a profit or you making a loss. So I finally got my last one. It only took me over 3 darn years to get it. And this is actually not uncommon. Very few people, actually, I don't know anybody who's gotten every single best in slot artisan in a year. It just, unless they buy it out using the Zen or the auction house to buy the artisan recruitment packs. So if you're curious of what artisans are going to help you out the most, I'm going to give you an idea. And if you're new to Neverwinter or don't know what mastercrafting is, there's a huge difference between crafting and master crafting. You know, I'm not saying crafting, I'm saying master crafting. Master crafting is much, much different. Master crafting, you will fail. And usually the materials you use are really expensive. And I'll give you an example after I go through this. So we'll go through our artisans. So for alchemy, the two best that you'll want to be shooting for is Aldequim, who has a 20% chance of dab hand. That's the highest dab hand you can get. And then for recycle, you want to get Beatrice. So Beatrice and Alda Quiem for alchemy. You can also get Minda, because she also is a 25% recycle. And the difference between these two is Beatrice has a higher focus and Minda has a higher proficiency. So depending on your needs, either one of these might be what you need more. Because sometimes you just want to craft with the highest success rate you can get. Sometimes you only want a plus one, and you want the highest chance to get a plus one as you can get. So there's not a 100% BIS for every single scenario, but generally speaking, if you're trying to build a workshop with the best artisans you can get, you'll want Beatrice and Aldequim for your alchemy. For gathering, I actually recommend don't have any gatherers because they'll take up 2 spots. So just get rid of them. But I have all of them I need now, so now I do want adventurers. For artificing, the two you'll want the most is Evelyn. She gives a 25% chance of dab hand. And you'll want Stella, who has a 25% chance of recycle. 25% is the highest you can have on both recycle and dab hand for artificing. I just kept Gunter. He's a 25% chance of dab hand. And I kept Carmela just because I may use her in future stuff. But the two you want is Stella and Evelyn for artificing. For blacksmith, you'll want, I think it's Takuro. He's a 25% chance of recycle. And you'll want Zenaida, 20% chance of dab hand. Now, if you notice, there's a rare quality blacksmith who has a 25% chance of dab hand, which is actually higher than the epic version. But in a lot of type of stuff in blacksmithing is usually my final product, so I don't usually use dab hand too much in blacksmith. But you'll want both of these. What makes Zenaida so good is look at is that a she? She's capped in both proficiency and focus. 450 is the highest that it goes. So this is a really good one. Um, for jewel crafting, the tool you want is you want Charlotte, who has a 25% chance of recycle. And then you want Tuala, who's a 20% chance of dab hand. And 20% chance of is your highest dab hand you'll get in jewel crafting. There's also a 20% chance rare, that's Tress. And if you notice, Tress has 433 proficiency, 428 focus, while Twala has 433 focus and 433 proficiency. So just ever so slightly higher focus than Tress. But these two are basically almost equal. People will say commission. Nobody in Mastercrafting gives a shit about the commission multiplier. Leatherworking. The two you want the most is Lond, who has a 25% chance of dab hand, and you'll want Yule Summerstar, who's a 25% chance of recycle. 25% being the highest for both recycle and dab hand for leatherworking. And then for tailoring, you want Yule Gustavberg. Yule was really important on the last Master Crafting because of the woven whiskers. But 25% chance of dab hand, 25% chance of recycle. And then for armor, you want 25% chance of dab hand, 25% chance of recycle from Elsbeth and Tommaso or Tomaso. So if you notice, most professions, the cap is 25%. Every one of them have a 25% recycle. Most of them have a 25% dab hand, except I believe it's just jewel crafting and artificing that 20% dab hand is the highest. Oh no, 25% chance on artificing, but I think there was alchemy. Yeah, alchemy's 20% chance of dab hand is the highest. So if you were curious what artisans you need if you're shooting for master crafting, now you know what are the highest value ones you can get. And you really want your goal is to get all of them because with master crafting you generally have to use all or most professions somewhere in the crafting process to make one item. So even though you're making something with leatherworking, you'll still probably need to use artificing and jewel crafting or something somewhere in between on one of the middle reagents. And so there's the artisans. If you're curious what the difference between master crafting and crafting is, crafting, you can get 100%. And your goal is usually to make it as fast as you can for as low as you can. Meanwhile, master crafting, you cannot get 100%. So here are soul beads. Every master crafter knows about these. They're used in the scintillating set. Probably the most expensive item reagent we can make right now. You need soul beads to make for the neck and belt. A lot of people want those. So you're using your best artisan you can, right? Which is Charlotte, who's going to give us a 25%. We don't want recycle. We want dab hand because this is double. So you're going to make Tuala is your best. You're going to have your best tool you can, and it is not the Gond's Forge Hammer Gond. It's going to be the Durger +1 because these give 600 proficiency, 600 focus, and 10% recycle. And then you're going to come over here with the highest proficiency supplement you can make. We're at an 81% chance. So that means 19% of the time we're going to fail, which means 19% of the time we're going to lose all of these reagents. The Godzor it's fallen a lot, but these used to be hundreds of thousands each. And this takes multiple reagents, and this takes multiple reagents. It's such a huge pain in the ass. So generally, master crafters will not be at 81% proficiency. What they'll be using here is using something that will give, I think, what I would probably want to use is, I would probably want to use this guy right here. Because my chances of success will go down 10%, but my chances of getting dab hand will go up 30%. So now I have a 55% chance of getting double the results, but I'll fail almost a third of the time. But a third of the time I fail, 10% of the time I'll get back the materials. Now, this is crazy. So master crafting is not crafting. And in order to make it in master crafting, you got to have nerves of steel, but you got to have the right workshop. And if you want to have the right workshop, you got to have the right artisans. Well, there you go. State class winner. See you soon.